Hey everyone, so this video will also be about the servicing of an Adam Drake AD4 OS speed motor. It's pretty straightforward with servicing it, but some people don't know, so I'll do this video for if you don't know. So with this afterburner oil that we'll start first, you can either do it through the exhaust pipe, the carburetor, or the back plate. For the exhaust, you just take the exhaust off. We have a cover there, so because we don't leave them on our motors, we set them inside for condensation. But what you would do is you would take it up, you would set it there with it on bottom stroke. You'd pour a couple bit, you'd drop a bit down there and then circulate it through. And for the carburetor, if you were to do it through there, because you should have a zip tie on there, you cut the zip tie off, you'd pull this off or whatever you're using holding there. Then you put some down there and then you once again cycle it. But the way I'm showing today is through the back plate, which is this. So you've got 4 screws you need to undo. Yeah, all 4 of them are 2mm hex bits. So after you get that off, what you want to do is make sure your motor's in top dead center, which is when you spin your flywheel to the point where it's starting to have pressure on it. That's so the piston's at the top end. You take this out, and the reason why it needs to be at top end is because there's that little groove there. And on your motor on your piston that you'll see on OS, it comes down, that's why you've got the groove there, because it goes down into that little slot a bit. And if you were to try to pull this out while it's like that, you will damage your piston, and you'll probably scratch this too. And then you have to buy a new one. But for the afterburner oil, you want to have it so you can see the bearings. I hope you can see it there, and I like to do it over there too. So you do about 3 to 4 drops altogether, and then so you do it onto your bearings, just lean it over, do a bit there, and spin it around. You don't have to do it on both sides, but I like to. And then just hold it there and drop it. There we go. Then I like to circulate it around just to make sure the oil gets everywhere. So that way it's not just sitting in one spot. All you have to do is go like this back and forth to circulate the oil around, or the afterburner oil. And then after that, it's good to put a drop on the back plate just to make sure that no rusting or fuel or anything is left on there, or rust. Just to make sure there's no fuel or anything left on there to protect it a bit more. So once you can make sure your motor's in top dead center, and slide this on. You might have to wiggle it back and forth a bit. Then you take your screws. I don't like to do them up fully with the drill, or like try to get them up to tight, because I worry that this may strip it around the hex on the screws. So I like to check it with a screwdriver just to make sure. Grab your 2mm, go there. It doesn't have to be extremely tight, just tight enough to the point where it feels good. So that's your afterburner oil done. Next up is clutch, which I'll be doing. So it's a 3mm, but we have a 3mm adapter bit there. And we also have a 5.5mm nut thing. So I'll go ahead and use a nut. So you just hold this and then twist that to undo it. You unscrew this, get that off, see if there's a washer on there, which there is, so we'll just leave that on. You pull your clutch bell off. There's no washer on there now, but that's because it's sitting there. there should always be a washer on at least the inside. If you don't, then you might want to check your mesh. So there's our 2 old ones out, and we'll go ahead and grab us 2 new ones. And what I like to do is I'll just do it over this. I like to use a bit of brake cleaner. Actually, no, I'll do a paper towel. I like to get a bit of brake cleaner and then just come along into here, take this and just spray a bit on there. Doesn't have to be too much, but you'll see all that stuff kind of coming off. And I'll let that sit for a little bit while I do this. You don't have to do this part, but I like to, just to get it a bit more clean. Give that a wipe. Nothing too fancy, just to dry and then do the same over here. Doesn't have to be spotless, as brake cleaner will dry on its own. Just make sure that washer is still on there. And we'll go ahead and take our bearing for there and our bearing for here. Once again, take a screw also, oh, wrong one. Make sure that washer's still on there as well, if you have one there. Then sit there and do it up. You just want to make sure that that washer is aligned, otherwise it could bend. Here we go. Here's your clutch bearings done. Next up is the air filter. So we'll take the screw out, it's a 2mm. Take that out, take this out. And then we'll grab ourselves a new air filter. And then you want to just squeeze it out a bit, just to make sure you get all excess oil out, as you don't need too much in there. Just enough to coat the whole thing. There we go, that's about right. Then we'll go ahead and get this slotted on. There we go. There's that all done. And we'll just pull the air filter back quickly to get this lined up. There we go. Kind of pull it around the edges until it lines up, and take your screw and then here we go. You want to make sure, because behind there's these little grooves there. You want to make sure those are lined up so you're not putting your air filter on wrong, the cover on wrong. That is how you do your servicing on a Adam Drake AD4 OS speed. Thank you.